It's important, you can do it. Here's a template, here's some tips, here's a call to action. Improving your copywriting skills. Welcome to Fordify, where we help you fortify your business. Now each week we pick a new episode randomly chosen by the Fordify button. Let's see what this week's episode is going to be about. Improving your copywriting to improve your sales. So let's jump right into the problem. Well, the first problem is your prospects are already bombarded by marketing messages everywhere. So there's more clutter and it's harder and harder to get through to people. The second problem is, some of you, the way you write copy is sales prevention. You have a cure for insomnia. If you can't sleep at night, go print out your web pages, go print out your brochures and put them near the side of your bed and then start reading them before you go to sleep, because it'll probably help you go to sleep because your copy is that bad. And the third problem is, maybe you have really great copy, but you're sending it to the wrong market. So you have to make sure that those two things are aligned. Now let's make sure you understand the importance of effective copy. You see, as I said earlier, copywriting is everywhere. It's on your headlines, your email subject lines, it's on signage, brochures. Everywhere that you promote your business and your value propositions are copy. Think about it this way. Graphics might attract attention, but text is what really sells. So you can have the best marketing piece in the world, but if the copy isn't effective, and if it's not laid out and formatted properly, which we're going to dig into in a little bit, it's not going to work. Now here's the good news. You already are an effective copywriter if you write like you talk. You see, a lot of people, when they get ready to write copy, it's like they take their head off and they stick it on the shelf, or they hire a copywriter, a so-called copywriter that's supposed to understand them. Look, you can write great copy. You understand your products and services and why people do business with you better than most anybody's ever going to. So you have to make sure, if you're the business owner, the marketing director, or whatever your role is in the company, you have to make sure that the copy is in everyday English, that's conversational, that speaks directly one-on-one to a person. Now, before you can really write effective copy, you need to get in the copywriting mindset. You have to intimately understand your prospect. What keeps them up at night? What are their pains? What are their fears? What are their desires? Now, beyond just the prospect, you have to understand your products and services and your industry. So to prepare, get into the copywriting mindset. The next step is to do a brain dump. Get your first draft out, conversational copy. Do not get in the edit mode. You know, there's two types of modes, the left brain, the right brain. You know, the right brain's creative and the left brain's analytical. Stay in right brain mode. Stay in the creative mode. Just do your first draft. Don't worry about editing. Don't worry about spelling. Just dump it all out. You need to capture your message. Tell the story. What's the story? What's the journey that you need to take your prospect on to get them to the specific action step you want them to take? Write the first draft as creatively as you can. Let it sit, let it rest, then you can always come back and edit later. So now that you've got your brain dump, let's take a look at a proven formula for writing effective copy. It starts with your headline, then subhead, then benefits, moves on to features, solution, social proof, credibility, call to action, and risk reversal. Now, that's a lot to look at, so let's take a look at each one individually. Your headline is your most important element of writing effective copy. You should spend the most time on your headline, because if they don't read the headline, they're not going to read any further. So headlines are number one, then a subhead. Now your subhead should explain and help clarify what the headline is. So maybe you have a really weird creative headline. If it's too weird, make sure that the subhead explains it to help keep the reader going from one step to the next step. Now, benefits. Now that they've got your attention from the headline and subhead, the benefits have to speak to them. What are the emotional things that they're going to get by using your products and services? What are the end results? The features. How do they get those benefits, right? The features describe the how, and the benefits are the why. Then after the features, you're going to take a look at some type of an actual solution. You know, they know what you do and why you do it and how you can do it, but how do they get it? Like, how much does it cost and how do they take action? Do they fill out a form? You know, what do? What's the solution? What are they buying? What's the next step in your funnel, right? Then you have to have trust and credibility. Maybe you've been in business for 25 years or 10 years, you've helped 10,000 people, or so many people have bought this product, or you've got 5-star reviews on Amazon. Whatever the credibility is, that should go next. And then of course, a very specific and measurable call to action. See, don't just put for more information call. Make sure it's something specific that helps engage your prospect to actually take the action you want. Now, number 9 is kind of a bonus. It's the risk reversal. Depending on your products and services, you might offer a guarantee. Now, in my business, the guarantee is I guarantee I'm going to deliver on what I said. I'm not going to guarantee that you're going to get X amount of sales because I'm not responsible for you. I'm responsible to you. But whatever you're selling, you might look at, do you want to have a risk reversal? Because guarantees and risk reversals help increase your sales. So once you plugged your copy into this 9-point template, here's some bonus tips that you can use. You need to go back and look for all the instances where you've used I or we and see if you can't turn it to you or your. You see, you want the focus of your copy on the prospect. You want to talk 80 to 90% about them and what it's going to do for them and less about you. How long is too long? Well, it's never too long, only too boring. So you want to look at the length of your copy and ask yourself, is there something you can cut out? Because obviously the shorter, typically the better. But the length of your copy should be in direct proportion to how difficult the decision is that you want your prospect to take. The more difficult or more expensive the action step, the more copy that you're going to need. Make sure that you format your copy for readers and scanners. Think about it like the story within the story. See, when I look at your copy and it's laid out, let's say it's on a web page, if I see things that are bold and underlined, and I see a picture that kind of attracts my attention and helps me visually syntax down through the document, that's the story within the story. That means that I can basically scan it, look at the bullet points, look at the paragraph headings, and I get the gist of it. Then of course, for the readers, you need to make sure you put more content that actually go in more depth. Now here's the mistake that some people make. If you only write for the scanners, you're gonna lose a lot of your market that want more information. If you only prepare your document or whatever it is for your copy and you do it just for the reader, then people like me that are scanners, I'm not reading that crap, there's no way. Now once you write your copy, you're probably gonna wanna share it with people to see what they think. But keep in mind, if you share your copy with someone who's not your target prospect and they're not looking at it through the eyes of that prospect, their feedback's probably not gonna be relevant. Now, what I recommend is that you actually test your copy with a smaller demographic of your target prospects. So your call to action is to go back and look at your copy and apply the strategies and tactics that we've just discussed, and I guarantee it's gonna help you improve your copywriting and it'll improve your sales. Now, make sure you share this video with anybody who's involved in revenue generating activities for your business. And of course, subscribe to the channel so you'll be notified when I have new episodes. And of course, I want to hear your feedback. What's worked for you, what hasn't, what challenges, or maybe you want me to review your copy. I don't know, put the notes below. I'd be happy to do that on an upcoming episode. But that's it for this episode on Fordify, where we help you fortify your business. That's a good clean take. I thought I did it shorter, so just skip what I just did and we'll do another one. Have I told you today how much I love both of you? Wait, I'm gonna get my little clicker in. I think what I said was the way I should say it, and you can't say it enough. I'm turning this off now because I can't tell what the hell we're at, and I don't know what you're trying to tell me to do. This is where we're gonna stop.